A rhythmic beat thrums like a steady pulse, cut through by the sharp, hungry snap of wood fire. There are 5 dishes born from struggle, seasoned with rebellion, and perfected by a people who turned survival into an art form. These are not just meals. They are battle cries on a plate. Once you learn how they are made, cleaving bone in chunks. Curry goat arrived across oceans. Indian laborers brought curry powder to Jamaica as if it were gold dust, but this island transforms everything it touches. Hands drive turmeric, allspice, and fire hot Scotch bonnet peppers deep into the meat. Garlic, thyme, and scallions are crushed into the flesh until the fibers release their scent. The mixture hits the smoking Dutch pot. The meat sears, then settles into a slow, golden simmer. It is a thick, fragrant gravy that does not just feed you. It heals you. This is where the story begins. The rhythm shifts. The slow bubbling of the pot gives way to the sharp, violent hiss of a pressure cooker. This is where the pretenders are separated from the real ones. Oxtail is not a dish for the impatient. The heavy tails hit the searing iron, fat rendering down until the meat takes on a dark, mahogany crust. Soy and browning sauce are poured over the top, creating a deep, caramelized glaze that coats the bone. The lid locks down. The pressure builds. Inside the steel chamber, time collapses. Heat works into the dense muscle, breaking down the tough fibers until they yield. When the valve finally releases, the steam clears to reveal a sauce so thick it clings to the spoon like velvet. Butter beans are folded into the pot, their creaminess cutting through the intensity of the glaze. A single spoonful is lifted, glistening under the light, heavy with the weight of hours of work. You take a bite, and the world outside the kitchen vanishes. Silence follows the first taste. There is nothing left to say. The silence breaks. A blast of orange light tears through the frame as the lid of a metal drum swings wide, releasing a roar of hungry flame. This is not just cooking. Jerk is a method forged in the shadows of the Blue Mountains. It was born from the necessity of the Maroons, who vanished into the high ridges and built secret, underground pits to survive. They fed the fires with pimento wood, the only fuel that could turn smoke into a weapon of flavor. Scotch bonnet peppers are crushed by hand into a thick, stinging paste, mixed with a sharp bite of allspice and ginger. The chicken is slashed deep, marinated through the night, and laid across the smoldering embers. Thick, white smoke billows upward, wrapping the meat in an intoxicating, layered aroma that clings to the air. The skin blisters and chars, turning black and brittle, while the heat forces the juices deep into the bone. The meat pulls away, tender and stained with the essence of the wood. You bite into it, and the heat hits the back of your throat, followed by the richness of the char. That is freedom you can taste. The heavy smoke of the pits clears, replaced by the sharp, rhythmic snap of oil at a rolling boil. A whole snapper slides into the pan, the surface erupting in a chaotic, golden foam. This is Escovitch, a technique that defies time. The fish is not just fried. It is transformed into a vessel for preservation. While the skin crystallizes into a jagged, brittle shell, the work begins on the topping. Onions, bell peppers, and carrots are sliced into thin, structural ribbons, then submerged in a brine of vinegar and pimento berries. The liquid is aggressive, biting, and bright. The chef lifts the fish from the heat, the crust still singing as it hits the plate. Then, the pickle is poured over the top in a single, fluid motion. Steam rises, carrying the sharp scent of acid that cuts straight through the richness of the oil. The heat of the snapper meets the cold, sharp sting of the vinegar. It is a calculated collision. The crispness of the exterior yields to the steam-cooked flesh inside, while the peppers add a sudden, bright crunch. You taste the tension between the fire and the acid. It is a masterpiece of balance, designed to last, but gone in an instant. The sharp sting of the vinegar fades as the sun crests the horizon, bathing the kitchen in a soft, golden glow. The final act of this island rhythm is the national dish. Ackee fruit is handled with absolute precision. The pods cleaned and the delicate flesh separated, then folded gently with shredded saltfish. It is a quiet, deliberate process. The mixture sautés with peppers and aromatic herbs until it glows with the warmth of the morning. It arrives on the table alongside fried dumplings and boiled green banana, a plate that carries the weight of generations. You are not just eating breakfast, you are eating history. The camera pulls back slowly, revealing the full table, a spread of goat, oxtail, jerked meat, fried snapper, and the final golden harvest of the morning. 5 distinct dishes, 5 stories forged in the crucible of this island. The fire in the hearth crackles one last time, a fading pulse in the quiet room. These flavors are not merely consumed, they are remembered. A legacy of survival, seasoned with rebellion, and perfected by hands that turned the struggle into an art form. This is the taste of a people, a flavor the world will never forget.